Hey guys, welcome back to the human condition. In this video is another astrology video for our astrology series, and this is what does it mean to be a Scorpio moon? I'll be honest, Scorpio does have a negative connotation to it, but it's an awesome sign. I feel like it's a lot of uh, negative connotations, but I'm gonna try to explain why that is and also the positives behind it. Uh, so yeah. What does it mean to be a Scorpio moon? A Scorpio moon means your moon, like in our all videos, our moon represents past home and family and emotions. Scorpio represents uh, intimacy, death, and transformation. Um, so Scorpios are probably one of the most flirtatious signs, if I'm being honest. So with the moon in the sign of Scorpio, that means your emotions are flirtatious. But it also means you feel things very deeply, and it's also ruled by Mars. And Mars is the planet of passion, aggression, war. So it's kind of, and that's put into emotions. So when you have passion, aggression put into emotions, you can see why that might have like a negative connotation. But there are still pros. For example, one pro is they're honestly Scorpios are awesome people. I know a lot of people that are Scorpio moons. They're all awesome people. And moon in Scorpio means is a water sign that's interpersonal. So Cancer is personal emotion, so Scorpio would be interpersonal emotion. So that means one-on-one expression. And basically, these are good people to really, like if you want to express how you feel, those people will always be there for you. So on a positive, they're the friend that's always there for you. However, this being said, they're also a little chaotic emotionally, because Scorpio is known to be chaotic emotions, and they're kind of known as a chaos agent, but they don't intentionally mean to do so. For example, like one of my old videos, I think it was my Aquarius moon video, I talked about how Scorpio just feels comfortable when people express themselves. And in day-to-day life, people aren't always going around expressing how they feel. Most of the time people are lying about how they feel. Whereas Scorpio is a type of person to understand when people are lying for it, and they won't call you out all the time, but sometimes they'll call you out. And that can obviously cause chaos. But so yes, they do cause chaos, but not just because they want to cause chaos. It's because there's a need to be kind of in control. And if everyone's expressing how they feel, and you're the one that calls it, you're kind of in control. But they're also there for you when you do so, like when you do express yourself. So it's kind of like a catch-22. So with that, Scorpio, that's why Scorpio sometimes causes chaos and they're known like as a chaos agent, because they just want people to express how they feel. And if that does cause chaos, then they're kind of like, so be it, But they're still awesome, very nice people. And I have a lot of people I know that are awesome as Scorpio moons. And most of the time, the way you can tell is because these people are very flirtatious. They're like the most flirtatious sign in a positive way of the zodiac. So Scorpio moons are pretty litty, pretty cool people. They get along with other water signs like Cancer and Pisces, because Cancer is personal emotion and Scorpio is interpersonal emotion. So obviously they go really hand in hand. Cancer wants to express oneself, and Scorpio wants people to express themselves. So, boom. So that's how. So Cancer will express themselves. It feels like it's beneficial to hang out with Scorpio because it's like someone I can finally express how I feel to, with no judgment, with no nothing. And Scorpio is finally like, oh, someone's finally opening up to me. I can form not just like a superficial connection, but a deep emotional connection with someone. Scorpio strives for deep emotional connections. So that's how Cancer and Scorpio's dynamic is. Scorpio and Pisces are a little bit different. And I think I talked about this in my Leo moon. Sometimes fire signs don't get along with each other. And it's kind of the same with water signs. People that are too similar obviously sometimes don't always get along. And this can be seen with Scorpio and Cancer, but mainly Scorpio and Pisces. Scorpio causes chaos sometimes, and Pisces is a sign of self-sacrifice and self-isolation. So sometimes Scorpio will cause chaos, and Pisces would be the one that takes the blame. Mainly because they obviously like to take on the responsibilities, but also you can see how that can Pisces sometimes acts like they want to do that, but maybe sometimes they don't want to do that, and that can obviously cause a little bit of conflict between Scorpio and Pisces. So sometimes Scorpio might cause some little chaos, and Pisces takes the blame. Not always though. Scorpio, and that's Scorpio and Pisces dynamic, but again, they still, even though they might seem on the outside like they don't like each other, deep down they probably do. And there's like a interesting dynamic between Scorpio and Pisces, for sure. Scorpio and Cancer pretty close most of the time, but sometimes they can get in tiffs because Scorpio doesn't mean to, but Scorpio has a deep need for control. So they want only the negative version of Scorpio, not the there's positives and negatives, but like a person who might be a Scorpio negatively instead of positively might use emotional manipulation because they know how Cancer feels. But on the other side, not all Scorpios are like that. Only the negative ones. The positive Scorpios would take the emotions and use it for good. Similar with Pisces, relationship with Scorpio and Pisces. Scorpio and Capricorn's dynamic. Capricorn is reputation. Scorpio is control. So you can see it in chaos. So you can kind of see how that kind of goes sometimes. But there's a positive version too of that, and sometimes Scorpio and Capricorn's dynamic can be pretty good. Scorpio and Virgo. Virgo, like in one of my old videos, was the sign of small talk in the job force. Scorpio sometimes can use manipulation to with Virgo, not always. So worst case scenario, they'll just be roasting someone. That's Scorpio and Virgo. So that's not that bad. But yeah, that's Scorpio and Virgo's dynamic. Again, this is all the negative versions. There's also positive versions, which are the exact opposite of what I'm like Scorpio's versions. So those are the dynamics between Scorpio and the water and earth signs. Scorpio has a lot of power in a good and negative way, depending on the type of person that has a sign. For example, the type of person that has a sign who's an awesome person, like most people I know, right? Use it for usually good. People that have the sign and don't can use it for bad, but yeah, that's how it is, I guess. Scorpio and Taurus are opposite signs. Like I said in one video, I'll talk about how signs are opposites, there's attraction. And I think I talked about this a little bit in my Taurus video. But Taurus is peace within their surroundings and friend group and like support group. Scorpio is chaos and deep emotional connections one-on-one with people. So it's like two opposite worlds coming together. Scorpio feels like they might not always be able to reach Taurus, kind of like how Leo feels that way, but it doesn't bother Scorpio as much. Also, they can actually be a great duo because Scorpio can help Taurus, who has a hard time expressing themselves and worries about causing problems, express themselves more. And Taurus can help Scorpio be more chill, peacemaker. So that's a good dynamic between the two. Kind of like the classic good cop, bad cop. So that's Scorpio and Taurus. Uh, so that's that dynamic. Also, of course, when you put together, Scorpio is causing chaos unintentionally, right? Just not purposely. They usually don't do it purposely. Taurus is gonna resolve it. That's why it kind of conflicts also, because like Scorpio can't have people emotionally express themselves if Taurus is always providing an environment where there's no need to express negative emotions, right? Taurus positively has a peaceful environment, but people avoid their negative feelings, where Scorpio provides an environment where people can express their negative feelings, but almost too much. So it's a good balance between the two. Then we talk about Scorpio and the signs it conflicts with. So Scorpio, we talk about how its opposite is Taurus. So Scorpio also conflicts with Leo and Aquarius. I think I talked about this a little bit in my Aquarius video, but Aquarius is also a peacemaker, but more societal based, and also struggles just in general expressing themselves. And Scorpio might see this and get aggravated by this, so they might cause a little chaos, forcing Aquarius to express how they feel. Aquarius is a person who notices the most because they're super outgoing. So they might get aggravated by the dynamic between Aquarius and Scorpio. Might be slight aggravation due to seeing Scorpio very emotional and wondering why they feel the need to make them express their emotions. Because sometimes they feel actually more comfortable, Aquarius moons, even though they want to, not expressing their emotions. So that's the dynamic between Aquarius and Scorpio. Aquarius sometimes gets aggravated by Scorpio causing chaos and making them express their emotions, but not always. Scorpio and Leo. Leo is interpersonal expression. Scorpio, even though I said they like to express their emotions, they're not keen on sharing their passions or their knowledge with people, what they know. That's in that regard. Emotionally, they're pretty expressive, but only if it's a person they're emotionally close to, like Cancer. But with their knowledge and their passions, they're very secretive about it until you get really close. They know they can trust you, and they get really close to you. So Scorpio and Leo, Scorpio might get aggravated a little bit by feeling Scorpio feels they have to express themselves when around Leo, and they don't always like their passions and their knowledge and their selves rather than their emotions, and they don't like doing that as much. And Leo might see Scorpio as almost mysterious and doesn't understand why they don't want to express themselves more rather than just their emotions. And that's the constant confliction between the two that pulls them together. Because all my videos, the square signs, even though they conflict, they need each other in a way. So yeah, those are, this is what does it mean to be a Scorpio moon? And then there's other signs, the inconjunct aspects between Aries and Gemini. Scorpio gets a little bit aggravated by Aries, another fire sign, but not quite as much as Leo. And Gemini gets a little aggravated by Scorpio, but not as much as Aquarius. But yeah, so in conclusion, Scorpio is still a really awesome sign to have. However, it's in the sign of debilitation, which is technically, I guess, the worst sign for your moon to be in. But there's also pros to it. And I feel like it has a negative connotation, but they're also great friends to express how you feel and great people you can open up to. So yeah. So that's what it means to be a Scorpio moon. I hope you guys like this video. My next video will probably be another psychology video, so stay tuned for that. But thanks again for all the support of my recent videos. I really appreciate it. And as always, thanks again for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.